How's it going, Pokemoshpitbeta? My name is MrMew72, and today I have a YouTuber match against Sonic Fighters from the Smogon with Battle Finder. This battle is pretty recent, so hopefully you guys will be able to enjoy this match. It's rather long, I know that if you guys have seen from the time, but don't get discouraged. It's a really, really good match. So anyway, I'm using probably one of my most favorite UU teams for a long time. My Choice Scarf Mindshell, Stealth Rocking Rhyperior, and Expert Belt Zapdos as the offensive core. Expert Belt Zapdos is probably one of my most signature Pokemon. I really love using it, and it's great for the element of surprise. Anyway, my defensive core is defensive Blastoise, especially defensive Umbreon, and then defensive Roserade, the Spikes variant from Smogon. So anyway, my opponent's team appears to have two of the same Pokemon from my team as well. It features Blastoise and Roserade, which are my defensive core. Then he has Heracross, Snorlax, Houndoom, and Nidoking. I did have Heracross over Mindshell, but then I figured out that Mindshell was kind of more stronger than Heracross to begin with, and was more faster. So I figured, hey, why not? It's a better revenge killer anyway. So yeah, major threats from his team aren't looking to be too much, in all honesty. His Nidoking might be threatening, but at the same time, I do have things to deal with it. Blastoise can take it on, hopefully. I do have Hidden Power Ice with Zapdos, but the thing is, Zapdos cannot OHKO a Nidoking from full with Hidden Power Ice, even if it is Expert Belt boosted. So that kind of is going to suck. So I'm really going to have to slowly wither this thing down. Maybe get chip damage with Mindshell with and its U-turn. But yeah, his Blastoise is not looking too threatening because I do have two Pokemon to deal with it, Roserade and Zapdos. His own Roserade isn't looking that threatening either because I do have Mindshell to deal with it with High Jump Kick / Hidden Power Ice, and then I do have Zapdos with the Heat Wave to deal with it. His Heracross, if it's Choice Scarf, then that means I'm going to have to see what move he locks himself into, and if it's like Close Combat or Mega Horn, I can go out into Zapdos to take it on. His Snorlax I can deal with Mindshell, and Rhyperior just can take the paralysis from the body slam if he does so choose to carry that. His Houndoom might be a threat, but as long as I keep from Rhyperior, because Rhyperior does a Rock Blast, so even if it is a substitute nasty Houndoom, I can break through its sub with one Rock Blast, and the following Rock Blast can knock it out. His own Nidoking I do have Hidden Power Ice for, like I've already said, and Giga Drain with Roserade should be able to do a decent amount. I do have Wish support with Umbreon, and I do have Rocks, Stealth Rocks, and Spikes with my own Roserade. His team doesn't seem to have a reliable Stealth Rocker though, but we'll see. So anyway, ends up turning out that he's going to go ahead and lead off with his Blastoise. As you guys did see from the team preview, I'm going to go ahead and lead off with Xiaoming, which is Mindshell, just because it's my standard lead for this team. It can help me get switch initiative. I'm going to go for U-turn, just trying to see what type of Blastoise this is, or if he decides to switch out, I can see what he will switch out into. He's going to stay, and I will be able to U-turn straight out into my Roserade, as he's actually going to end up going for Rain Dance. So that's pretty interesting. First turn, we're seeing some custom movesets. U-turn did a decent amount, but not enough to the point where I know for a fact that he's physically defensive. So he's going to go for Rain Dish. He's going to go for Rain Dance, and I do see that he has the Rain Dish ability, and it was left over, so that means he's going to be getting a lot of health back. I'm going to go for Giga Drain because Roserade does have the typing advantage, and at this point it's really, really early in the battle, so I think it's worth just playing it safe for now. He's actually going to end up going after Snorlax, and the damage that Snorlax takes might most likely confirm that this thing is a defensive set. So I'm going to go into Rhyperior, kind of predicting the body slam. That's not the case. He's going to go for another custom moveset, which is actually Stockpile. Now the thing about Stockpile Snorlax is that Snorlax is a generally bulky Pokemon. It does have access to rest. So basically what this means is that he can go for Stockpile, and Stockpile I'm not positively sure to whether it boosts +3 at max or +6, I'm not too sure. But anyway, I'm just going to get up Stealth Rocks, and then the following turn I'm going to go for Rock Plus, just trying to scout to see how much it wants to do. It's going to do absolutely nothing to the Snorlax, so that basically confirms that this is a pretty defensive build, even after the 2 stockpiles. He's going to go for his 3rd stockpile here, putting him at like a lot of defense, that's all I'm going to say. So now, the thing about this is that he does not know that my Blastoise carries the Dragon Tail, and that's really going to end up benefiting me. He doesn't have any attack boost because Stockpile only boosts defense. So what I'm going to do is go out into physically defensive Blastoise, as he's actually going to reveal the signature move, which is Belly Drum. Now, what's so interesting about this set is that he has Stockpile and Belly Drum. He probably has Rest, and he's actually going to reveal that here. He's going to go first. he doesn't know that I had the Dragon Tail, and that's really going to end up benefiting me, because he's probably like, what the heck just happened? I'm going to go for Dragon Tail here, and I'm going to connect. I'm not, spoilers, but I'm going to connect, and I will be able to Dragon Tail straight out of there. So his turns of setup were a waste. So that was a really nice play on my part. Unfortunately, though, I am going to end up Dragon Tailing him out into his Roserade, and that is kind of going to suck. Roserade does have the immediate typing advantage over Blastoise, so it's not advisable for my Blastoise to stay in. I'm actually going to end up going out into my Roserade. He's going to go for Toxic Spikes. Now, the good thing about this team is that I do have a Flying-type Pokemon, which is Zapdos, and Zapdos is immune to Spikes and Toxic Spikes. My opponent does not have Stealth Rocks up on the field yet, so I'm not too worried about switching it in yet. So, he's going to go for Toxic Spikes, and then Spikes the following turn. The thing about Roserade is that it is a Poison type, meaning that when a Poison type goes in on Toxic Spikes and it's grounded, the Toxic Spikes will disappear, as you guys just saw from there. Spikes will not, though, but I do have a Blastoise for Rapid Spin, so I'm not too worried about that. So now he has one layer of Spikes, and he's going to, and that's it. So he's going to actually pull a switch out into his Nidoking, and I'm actually going to pull another switch out into Umbreon, because Umbreon is especially defensive. He's going to take the opportunity of me switching, go for the Ice Beam, and it's not going to do too much, but I don't know if he's Life Orb set or if he's Choice Scarf set. It ends up being that he's most likely the Life Orb variant, the Sheer Force variant, just because he's able to switch up moves. I'm going to go for Foul Play, just trying to scout to see how much he wants to do. It's not doing too much, obviously. It'll probably be about like a 3-hit KO maybe, at the most. I don't know. But Foul Play is going to do considerable amount, even though Nidoking is not physically offensive. But now he's going to go out into his Heracross, maybe predicting me to go for the Wish. But if he did, that was a pretty nice play. Now, I'm in a predicament, because we see that he has leftovers there. So I'm going to go for Protect. He's actually going to predict me to switch out, or go for a support move or something, and go for the Sword Stance. Now, things are very bad for me, because even though Umbreon is at full HP, it has no chance of living a Mega Horn or a Close Combat. My best bet at this point is to go out into Frightening, which is Zapdos, and maybe take a hit as long as it's not Stone Edge, and then from there maybe retaliate with the extra Heat Wave. He's going to go for Mega Horn here, and it's going to do a lot, bringing me down to 69 HP, and then from there, I do see that I'm absolutely positive that he's leftovers, so I'm going to go for Heat Wave, and at full, I'm thinking it should be able to knock him out. I mean, a Rain just ended a few turns ago. That's not the case. His Heracross is magically going to live the Heat Wave, be able to connect the next Mega Horn, and be able to knock out my Zapdos. And now things are looking pretty bad, because I've already lost one of my most offensive Pokemon on the team pretty early, and that's not very good. So now I'm going to go out into Charmian, and I'm actually just going to go for Stone Edge, just because I do have speed, because I am Choice Scarf, and he's not, obviously. He's actually going to decide to play it safe, go out into his Blastoise, who can easily take the Stone Edge, so that's pretty good for him. It's not going to do too much to his Blastoise. I am actually a Jolly Mind Shout, as opposed to an Adamant Mind Shout, so I guess damage rolls do play a role in there, but I don't think it really matters too much. Now I'm going to switch on to Rosalinda. He's actually going to just go for Dragon Tail, and his team is actually pretty well built, because he has all forms of hazards, I'm thinking anyway. Maybe his Nidoking has Stealth Rocks, I don't know. But he has all forms of hazards. He has a Dragon Tailer, he has a Rapid Spinner, and he does have a signature move on his Roserade, which you guys will see later. He's going to end up Dragon Tailing me out into Stonewall, which is Rhyperior. Obviously, Blastoise does have the 4 times the super effective water move of choice. It's not advisable for me to stay in. I'm just going to go straight out to Umbreon. He does have the Synchronize, so if he does actually burn me, it's not going to end up mattering too much. And I do have the Synchronize, and I do have the Heal Belt. So all in all, Umbreon is in the better position here. He's actually going to end up going for Rain Dance, so I'm going to go for the Foul Play. I guess I kind of predicted him to switch out maybe to Heracross, because I do know that Foul Play does hit on the based on how much physical attack that your opponent has. So Heracross has a lot. It would probably do a lot to the Heracross. So he's going to go for Rain Dance. He's going to go for Rain Dance first. Then and then I'm going to go for Foul Play. It's not going to do anything, because Blastoise is more of a especially offensive Pokemon than the defense. I mean, the only physically offensive anyway. Some kind. Alright. Blastoise has special type moves, not physical moves. That's all I need to say. He has Rapid Spin, but obviously he does not invest in attack, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Now he's going to switch out into his Roserade as I'm going to go for Foul Play. Now Roserade is more of a specially offensive attacker with about 125, a 125 base special attack. So it's not going to, and it doesn't have any physical attack. So it's not going to do too much. So I'm just going to pull a safe switch out into my Roserade. He's going to take the opportunity of me switching or knowing that Umbreon at that point is basically set up fodder for this Roserade and go for the spikes. So now he has 2 layers of spikes up on the field, and that's it. So now he's going to go into his Snorlax. At this point, I'm absolutely positive that this Snorlax is an auto pivot switch to my Roserade. So yeah. So now I'm actually going to go for spikes as he goes into Roserade. So now I do have 1 layer of spikes on the field, but unfortunately he did rapid spin my Stealth Rocks away, so that's it. So now I'm going to go into Chowmean as he's actually going to, I believe, switch out and go into his Houndoom here. This is actually going to end up benefiting me more in the long run because I do have the typing advantage, and overall, Houndoom is not going to generally want to stay in on a mine channel unless the person's crazy for something. So he's actually going to make a pretty weird play. I'm going to go for High Jump Kick, just wanting to hit anything that brings his hard, knowing that he doesn't have too many things that can resist it and not take a lot from it. So High Jump Kick from that range is actually a 2-hit KO on the Blastoise, which he decides to switch in. So that means his Rapid Spinner is out of the way, so I guess I'm basically free just to get up more hazards if I can find an opportunity to do so. He's going to go out into his Nidoking here, and I don't want to stay in, so I'm actually just going to pull a safe switch out into Umbreon, but this is where he reveals that he actually does carry Stealth Rocks on his Nidoking. It kind of surprised me because Nidoking, you generally do not see it fulfilling more of a support role as Nidoqueen does, because Nidoqueen has the better bulk, but that's besides the point. He's going to go for the Earth Power. It's only just about a third as I'm going to go for Wish. And now I'm actually going to pick a pretty nice play. I'm going to predict him to predict me to go for Protect. So I'm actually going to go for Foul Play, predicting his Heracross. I mean, that works out excellently. Because his Heracross, I guess he thought that if he bought his Heracross in freely, he would force me to switch out again like the previous time. That's not the case, because I'm going to go for Foul Play and knock that thing straight out. So I'm in a pretty good position now. Now he's going to go into his Roserade, and Roserade's a pretty big threat, because even though I do have an attacking move, we're basically at a stalemate, but the thing is, his Roserade can basically beat my Umbreon one-on-one just because it has to, it can set up spikes and stuff like that, and Umbreon cannot. So the most Umbreon can do to it is use Foul Play, which is not going to do too much at all. He's actually going to go for Toxic Spikes there, setting up 1 layer, so that means before I was able to bring in Roserade, meaning that they will not be absorbed. So now I'm going to have to go into Blastoise just to let it be poisoned, because I do have the Heal Bell on Umbreon, so it's not too big of a deal that it gets poisoned. He's going to go for Venoshock, and this was the signature move on this Roserade that I was talking about. I was totally caught off guard by this move. I did not expect it at all. I mean, obviously, it's very viable in his scenario just because of the fact that he does have Toxic Spikes on the team, so it is going to end up working out. I'm at 72 HP. I'm going to make a really stupid play, switch out, because I cannot take another Stealth Rocks plus Spike switch in with Blastoise anymore. So basically, Blastoise is dead upon entry, and I guess the best purpose it can fulfill now is probably just going to end up being the for Death Fodder. I'm actually going to make another stupid play and go out into Rhyperior. Now, Rhyperior can resist this Venoshock, don't get me wrong, but Roserade does also carry the Giga Drain, and Giga Drain is 4 times super effective, and even with Solid Rock, no chance of living that from that range, so he will be able to knock out my Rhyperior for absolutely no reason. So now I'm going to go out into Rosalinda, and I'm hoping, maybe, just maybe, I might be able to live a Venoshock from this range, or maybe he'll be stupid and go for Giga Drain. That's not the case. He's going to go for the Venoshock and be able to knock out my Roserade. So, luckily though, Roserade kind of fulfilled its purpose. It got rid of the Toxic Spikes. So now I can basically freely go out into my Cho and not be worried about being poisoned. I'm going to go for High Jump Kick here because it's the strongest move that I have. It's going to do about a little over 50% to this Roserade, and that's very nice. He's going to make a misplay here, go for Toxic Spikes, and this is basically what costs him the game, more or less, unless he gets a surprise comeback with tags. So I'm going to go for High Jump Kick, and I'm actually going to end up getting a critical hit here. And this critical hit may have mattered, but at the same time it may not have, because the first High Jump Kick did about the range that he was at. So there was a chance of him living, but at the same time, there was a chance of him not. So I guess about 20% of him living. So anyway, he's going to go into his Nidoking, and after Spike's damage, I will be able to knock him out from that range. So that's pretty nice. Now he's going to go out into his Snorlax, and this is basically my just cleaning up. He's just going to go for High Jump Kick. Even though there's like 2 layers and maybe 1 layer spikes up, Snorlax is actually going to be able to live the High Jump Kick. I'm not going to miss, so that's very good. He's going to live it with like a minuscule amount of HP, and then from there I will be able to knock him out the following turn with the High Jump Kick, as he actually reveals not to have the Sleep Talk. Now if he did have Sleep Talk, that would be really stupid, because he would not have a support move, well, he would not have an attacking move, and his Belly Drum and stockpiling shenanigans would be for waste. Now he's going to go into his last Pokemon, which is Houndoom, and I will be able to High Jump Kick for the win. So if you guys did enjoy that game, be sure to go check my channel out if you do enjoy this narration. I'm obviously not the best narrator in the world, so I understand if you don't want to. But anyway, if you guys do enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe to Pokemoshpit, and yeah, with that, I'm out.